The time has come for Top That Trade. Today's Street Fighters, Phil Flynn, a Fox Business News contributor, and Alan Nuckman, a pro options trader. At the bell, round one, happy hour. Two semis, spilled Busch beer and Frito-Lay chips, closing a freeway for a happy 2 hours. What's the better buy? Is it InBev Bud or PepsiCo?
I think that's one of the saddest stories I've heard in a while. You know, beer and chips crashing together. They
what
can't
could go
keep
wrong?
apart. What could go wrong, right?
Well, my lesson we learned here is you can't fight the Fed, all right? And now, believe it or not, the ECB is now in the beer business.
Yes, they are.
Because
yeah, they
they've agreed to buy corporate debt.
Right.
Anheuser-Busch, Budweiser, InBev, now is selling a
Did they
huge
do
amount
that
of debt.
before they were drinking or after they were drinking it?
And so now you've got the backing of the ECB for InBev. They just sold $46 billion worth and then $15 billion worth. So they're going to be in business, doing well. I look for that stock to move up another 25%.
Which one?
If we get back InBev, if we get back above that 130 high, a full V recovery target's 150.
Well, I like that as well. And you know Europe likes their alcohol. They like their chips. But you know what? I like PepsiCo a little bit better. And let me tell you why.
That's more your speed.
That's more my speed. Well,
going nowhere.
No, well, PepsiCo has beer and they have chips and they have both. They sell both. So and the chart looks a little bit better. There's been a lot of resistance in InBev. I think there's a little bit of concern. They both look good. But, you know, trying to pick between PepsiCo and InBev is like trying to, pick between chips and beer. I mean, you can't lose on either one, but I think one looks a little better, and that's Pepsi.
All right, I'll drink to that.
I will drink to that.
Cheers to you. Round number two, Rich Dad Doom, the best-selling author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, wrote in 2002 about a 2016 stock market crash. He says he is now right on target for that crash. What is your outlook for the year?
You know what? I'll tell you what. This guy has been, around for a lot of years. The Rich Dad, Poor Dad routine. It was such a fad. Everybody was talking about that. It was a phenomenon. But when I'm looking at this market, I don't see that right now. And what I see is that the Fed has this market's back. They do not want this market to crash. They are doing everything they can to keep it going by cutting their interest rate forecast from 4 to 2. Increases.
So you're saying there's support for the market?
There's support for the market here right now, unless there's a disaster that I can't see.
What
is he saying here, Mr. Kiyosaki?
His whole premise was that the baby boomers would have to start taking money out when they turn 70 and a half in 2016.
Right.
What's actually happened is the millennials now are our largest segment of our population. They've surpassed the baby boomers. So they're going to start putting money in. So I think that premise is flawed. And the market reaction to every event has been positive here. We've seen a full recovery. And if we get a V recovery back to the highs in the S&P, 2,400 is the target, which is another 25% above. And don't say that it can't happen.
Well, and you're also going to get support, hopefully, from foreign investors. It's not just the U.S. market. I know we have aging populations in places like Europe and other places, but we are developing more of an investment class in some of these other countries, and that should also help us from the emerging markets.
Money moves, and it'll move here once again.
That's right.
Round number three, peeved pirates. Low oil prices have triggered high seas tanker heist. What is your prediction for oil and piracy?
Yo ho, a bottle of rum. There you go. The pirates, I'll tell you what, the pirates have been lazy. I don't care what you say. If you can get a tanker of oil, I don't care if it's $20 a barrel or $40 a barrel, that's a heck of a lot of money for a tanker of oil. I say the pirates are going to be coming back in a big way because oil prices are coming back.
So you're bullish on pirates?
I'm bullish on pirates.
All right, so there's going to be some support down underneath $40 a barrel. 36 was the breakout. That was that double top. So that should act as a support down below. In the longer term, $55 is the upside target, which is the 1 year midpoint. So we'll have to wait and see. But it's all predicated, really, in my opinion, on the dollar. But I think we're getting a drift higher. I'd like to see some profit taking, but overall, I think it's going to go back up.
Let's talk about the real pirates. That's OPEC. Yes, the OPEC cartel. They're the guys that have been manipulating these prices for years. And you know what? They don't want the prices to go down anymore. So yo ho ho, they're going to cut production and prices will go back up.
My energy stock is SunPower. I know it's solar. It doesn't have anything to do with it. But SunPower has been bottoming out here on $20 for the last 6 months. I think the risk reward on that has more upside potential. A lot of these energy and commodity stocks have already bounced. So you got to look for somebody that hasn't participated.
He's doing a solar stock, but I think he's been out in the sun just a little bit too long.
Thank you, my mateys. Let's take a look at your bonus round question for today. Can you name the baseball team with the most expensive hot dog? Is it the San Francisco Giants, the Detroit Tigers, or the New York Mets?
I would think San Francisco. They actually have some great garlic fries at their ballpark. I would recommend that.
I think they have tofu hot dogs.
Gilroy garlic fries.
I can't believe people in San Francisco buy hot dogs. They probably buy tofu and
What's
whatever.
your answer?
New York Mets.
The answer is the New York Mets.
Thank you very much.
650.
Thank you. I know my dogs, that's for sure.
Oh,
Every time.
And I know baseball.
No matter what the question is.
It's wrong every time.
great job, guys. Business First AM continues after this.